Yo, what's good? What's up, brother?
What's going on, man?
Welcome back, man. Welcome back. How was your Thanksgiving? Thanks. Man, let me
Thanksgiving.
not go in.
Well, that holiday, that long weekend.
Yeah, that long weekend.
Yeah. I told you I was in your neck of the woods, but I was in Orlando spending my money with Mickey the gangster.
Oh man, Mickey the gangster. For sure. You know that's right.
Yeah.
Mickey will stick you up.
Mickey had all my money.
All your money. Gimme. Stick him up. Yeah. But what's up, Coach E?
What's going on, gentlemen? What's happening?
Dr. Coach E. Man. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, happy to be here, brother. Still not 100%, but I got some things on my mind. Some things I got to say.
Got some things you got to say? What up, Spliff? What's up, brother?
What's up, fellas?
Let me ask you a question, Uncle Spliffy.
Yeah.
Is that a Zatch special you're wearing there, brother?
Hat and shirt, actually. Yeah, the shirt is one of the originals, actually.
He's really Zatch Master.
Yeah.
The Zatch Master.
Yes, sir.
So let's get to it. It's episode 86. 86, gentlemen, 86. Countdown to 100. We gotta do something big for the century mark.
All right, yeah.
Right now we're on 86.
We're gonna get LeBron on.
There's Hawk can make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking into existence.
Yep.
Exactly. Even though I know that was some hateration going on right there.
Oh nah, I'm just saying. I just want you to be able to. I want to reward you with a job well done for 100 episodes.
Right. Man,
I met a legend through Hawk. Well, many of, but I credit meeting Prince through Hakeem. So that's a legend. LeBron status. You know what I mean? So Hawk can put it together.
That's LeBron status.
Yeah. Or Coach E will reach out to Slim and have Slim plug us because Slim is well connected. Coach E well connected. Just talk some crap. Get Kyrie for 100. That's what we need to do.
Yeah,
Put the pressure on Coach E.
That'd be a good show.
Yeah, it would. Yes, it would. We're gonna work on that. All right. So in the meantime, in between time, we're gonna throw up real hip hop for the people just to let folks know what it is. We want you guys out there in Madison TV sports world to like, subscribe, share, spread the message while this video is up. And we're going to dip out, do our little thing on the 1 and 2, and we'll come right back in with episode 86 with special guest Buddha Black to talk basketball, more specifically LeBron Kobe conversation. And then we're going to talk some NFL and have another special guest come on, my man Casey Gain, and we're going to get into this whole Jerry Jones controversy, because, Lord, Jerry.
Hey, Coach, this sound like a setup, right?
100%, man.
100%. With that said, let's
24 hours of peace, love, unity, safely having fun. Real hip hop for the people. It's an engagement. It's a demonstration. Using hip hop culture to get you activated. Let the people hear the bass, the vibration, the love, peace, unity, and watch them add on. It's a culture. It's not just rapping. It's not what we do. It's how we do it. We're doing it right here, Springfield Avenue, between Bergen and Plum. 24 hours straight, man. It's crazy.
Shit.
We the people. The people of the culture.
Yeah, Ron Lawrence. Fire.
The hip hop culture.
Yo, we love rap.
Yes,
Love
we
it. Yeah, we do. But it's really about the culture.
Yeah, let them know how.
The culture.
Yeah. What up, man?
You know a hard head makes a soft behind. If I only knew my schoolwork like I knew them rhymes. Mom upside my head, I'm trying to memorize every line. High power rap breaks, super rhymes. Deep into the culture, didn't even know it. Young entrepreneurs spitting bars like a poet in a rush to be mature behind bars when we blow it. In the bold that rappers too immature to outgrow it. It was more than just music, something next to breathing. I get giddy like a baby trying to spit while I'm feeding. The mic I be squeezing, dropping facts like I'm teaching, leaking flows for the perfect beat seeking. Mama used to say, take your time, young man, but I'm trying to feel a light so you can see it when I tan. I'm like one that never ran, I'm a fan but never stand. Just take a black way to the east, Xing out the clan.
Holy integrated, having omnipresence, we are.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Holy integrated, having omnipresence, we are.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Pueblo Unido, grassroots Steve Biko. Rule number one, never forget the people. I live that, I get back. Heart all in it, no gimmicks, straight facts. From the start, I'm the light from the dark. Born from black art, knew my part. Daddy gave me, mama made me. North raised me, hip hop saved me. For the culture now, for the black and brown. Harriet Underground, sun up to sundown. Till my people get out, north to down south, spread like word of mouth. While you cowards is hooded, we battle the bullet. Black lives to the fullest. Out here to the end, stronger together, that's the day we win.
Holy integrated, having omnipresence, we are.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Holy integrated, having omnipresence, we are.
Yeah.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
The legends before me are ones I want to get it like, but hitting quick hit different when hitting right. Mob ties, this thing of ours is birthrights. Who's next for the culture and them searchlights? Do it to it, this music, I'm trying to talk through it. Every plan on my own, I watch the line do it. Airborne to skiki, like a Wendell Pruitt. Trumpets blow, this song's here, melodic ruins. Think for it before they have to think for 'em. Boom bap, I talk that and live enormous. Informants when present and your boy performing, especially when them drums snap by Brian Lawrence. Do it all, that poet talker, the line crosser. Mini hawk and I speak by and flying saucers. Make it worth it, I can't take no feeble offers. Signed, sealed, and delivered, and you know the offer.
Holy integrated, having omnipresence, we are.
But no one stopped to think about the people.
Holy integrated, having omnipresence, we are. Here are the people.
Yes, that was Real Hip Hop for the People by Hakeem Green, featuring the lovely G Simone and my brothers Do It All Kelly, Councilman Do It All Kelly, and the Chief, Amiri Baraka Jr. So, this is just a sample of what real hip hop is all about, gentlemen. Real hip hop for the people is not what we do, is how we do it. It's all those little things that come along with the culture that people forget about that actually makes up the culture and makes us so powerful. And with that said, let's bring in our guest, Mr. Buddha Blizzy, Buddha Black.
What it do?
And just to let the folks, peace to the gods, peace to the God, peace to the G-O-D. So just to let the folks know, this brother right here is one of the people that introduced me to the culture. You know what I mean? Like literally, one of the first folks who helped me write my rhymes when I was 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, early. And, when I graduated from jumping roofs and was able to go on the basketball court with the big boy, Cliff, I'm sure you familiar. Where coach at? Where coach? I don't know where coach at. All right. Cliff, you familiar with Raleigh Park?
Oh, yeah.
AKA Bush City.
Know about the park.
I mean, yeah, Cliff grew up in East Orange. He came outside a little later because he's from Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But, in Raleigh Park, you had behind the park, you had these garages that actually separated the park from Black's building. He lived on Walnut. Anybody know about the nut?
The nut.
You come off the nut.
Come
you
off
hit
the
that
nut.
back.
That back roof right there. And we jumping. We doing parkour. Man, I'm looking crazy. We doing parkour at like 5 years old, 6 years old, jumping roof to roof, whatever. But the thing is, we be on the roof and we be looking down at the older brothers playing ball on the basketball court.
No doubt.
So I was, checking this brother out from early, watching him dunk on jokers, even though it was on the mini hoop on the far end.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, the Raleigh Park court was like weird because it was on a slope, and you had the hole in the joints. You couldn't really
you get dunked on by anybody in Raleigh Park. Anybody will try you. Okay,
except
a little nigga off the block in some jeans.
Man, it was crazy. But that said, I grew up watching this young brother as an MC. He was a member of the Stardust 3, a Peace Asiatic. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Tiny. You know what I mean? And then, of course, watching his brother as a basketball player. So from that point, I want you to talk about just your career as a baller real quick before we get into this other conversation.
Well, I left the bricks because of all the trouble that I was getting in. I got sent to Texas where a lot of ballers went. And at an early age, I became a name known out there. And I started balling at this place called Hickjick, Trinity Valley. Me, Sean Kemp, and Nick Van Exel. We was at this junior college out there in Trinity Valley. And so we used to put on a straight dunk fest shows out there, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how we got a big name for ourselves. But we was young. Sean Kemp was like 17. I was 18, and Nick Van Exel was 17 himself. He was younger than all of us, actually. You know what I'm saying? But we had a nasty crew, and went straight to the league. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even finish one whole year balling on the squad. He left and went to the league. And after that, I went to Oklahoma City and won a national championship with Eric Manuel. I don't know if you know Eric Manuel, but he was freshman of the year at Kentucky and got kicked out of the NCAA with Coach Sutton, for cheating on his ACT test. I don't know if you remember that when they got caught cheating on the ACT test. That was Eric Manuel. He wound up being my roommate at Oklahoma City years later, and we won a national championship at Oklahoma City and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's dope. Man, yeah.
But
so
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, well, that's a lot.
Yeah, I balled overseas. After the championship, I had a chance to go to the Indiana Pacers that got cut. You know what I'm saying? So, I played at Harlem Globetrotters, Harlem Rockets, Harlem Wizards, Harlem Magicians, all the park leagues, from the Hole to Rutgers to Westfield to everywhere in the bricks or in the tri-state area. I've been to every fucking park league you could think of. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. So that said, who was your toughest competition? Who was somebody, growing up, you was like, Joker put it on me unexpectedly. Oh, I'm surprised. Who banged on you?
But it's some jokers that probably are like that you might know. It's a cat from they call the Greyhound. And he's from Brownsville, and he was a high riser, and I think he was the first time to caught a body or caught me out there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know who he was. He caught me. You know what I'm saying? Not too many people really caught me. You know what I'm saying? No. But I got caught out there like about 3 or 4 times. I don't know if you remember. He played for Georgetown. Big John. And he got kicked out of Georgetown because him and Alonzo got caught at the drug house.
Oh wow!
John Turner,
Ooh.
John Turner.
You spilling all the tea right now.
Yeah, that was new. They got caught at the drug dealer's house, and John Turner got kicked out of Georgetown. He wound up coming out to
Alonzo didn't get kicked out of Georgetown, though.
Nah, well, he got suspended. He got suspended for a game, but they wound up kicking because they was Big John's friends. So they wound up kicking Big John out of Georgetown, and he wound up coming out to Oklahoma. But I don't know if y'all remember him. He was a big dude, and he played power forward, and he threw it on me pretty nasty one. He threw it on me pretty nasty.
I know Sean Kemp had to have got him. You got,
Sean Kemp is the person that dunks on everybody on the court. Like he comes out of the sky. Like everybody else jumps, he gets dropped out of a helicopter. You know what I'm saying? It's like every time you see him, he's coming down. You never seen him go up. You just see him
go down. Yeah, like, point at you.
Yeah, you just see him coming down. Like, fine.
Yeah, I got a chance to meet Sean Kemp actually through Sean Scott.
Yo, he's a hell of a beatbox. He used to be my right-hand man beatbox.
Sean Kemp, word?
Oh, hell yeah, he's a beatbox. He's a hell of a beatbox. Word.
He's a big ass lip. Yo, so if I'd have known that, if I'd have known you guys went back like that, I'd have told him.
Oh, you could have just said that. Yeah. He,
like, I was his weed man for a good stretch.
Okay, you should have let him know, man.
When he came to New York, I get that call. From Sean Kent, where you at?
Yeah,
check me out,
man. Nigga, you from the Nat? You call it the Nat. He said, "I'm from the Nat, Buddha." Back then, he used to stutter. He had a little stuttering problem back then, but his beatbox was nasty.
Yeah, says he stuttered. So he had them extra reverberations.
Yeah, he had the extra drum rolls.
Extra drum rolls. Yeah, man. So, before we move to this other conversation, the panel have any questions for my brother? Any questions from his semi-pro, pro career, college career? Nah, so we can move on, get to the thick of the conversation. All right, so listen. Last week, I had you come on the show before I knew two of my hosts were going to be missing, and that's Wes and Mr. Coach E, Dr. Coach E, who are like really, really hardcore Laker fans. Really hardcore fans. And these brothers been watching me bandwagon and jump ship team to team with LeBron, because I'm a LeBron fan. I'm a LeBron fan. I just put out, everybody know it is what it is, right? But even that said, Black, we've had conversations a few years ago, especially when Kyle Kuzma had to push LeBron out the lane, and I told you that was a bad look, especially for legacy talk. Right.
But right after that, he won a championship, right?
Well, my panel would say the bubble chip, it don't count.
I would like to listen. I would like to be sitting next to them while it was going on, what they were saying. You know what I'm saying? Like they say that after we won. But I guarantee you, during the championship, they were like, "Come on, Lakers, we got to win this."
Nah, let me answer that question for you.
Every bucket.
No. I was in the shower cleaning myself off because I felt dirty. I was just rinsing myself off. I didn't feel right watching the celebration.
Yo, babe,
I told you about Fanatics.
Fanatics.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, the championship is a championship. I can't discount that because everybody was in the bubble together. So no doubt.
Exactly. And believe me, it was harder to win it like that.
I don't think
as a baller.
I would disagree.
I know, because you're not a baller.
I'm
not.
Ballers
not to that level. They understand. Listen, let me finish. Ballers understand certain things about the game. Now, to be in that situation and to be away from everybody and have to be focused on just being a baller And for the people on the outside to be like, oh man, I don't think that wasn't that easy. Like, it's hilarious. It's really hilarious. That's how ballers look at that. They look at the other people who say that. It's like, this guy's hilarious. Like, it's really like, it's a no-brainer of how hard that situation is. You know what I'm saying? But people outside of it that don't ball, that haven't been in crunch time situations, they will be trying to say other things about it because they have their own opinions, which is cool.
But I need you to tell us, why is it harder? Like, you said it.
Because number one, right? When you playing a game of basketball and you playing against somebody who normally don't get in the game, right? They get in the game, the crowd is going crazy, they nutting up. But now there's no crowd out there. That dude who's getting off the bench, he's more dialed in than he's ever been at an NBA game. His level of play is totally different now. He ain't dealing with no crowd. He's just thinking about his practice and his regular, normal workout routine and how he play. So that turns the whole game totally different. Like, everybody's playing at a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? With no fans, like LeBron and the top guys, they level might even come down a little bit because they don't have that fan to push them. But the other people's go up a little bit because they have to worry about the fans and stuff like that. So it makes it a real even type of playing field. You know what I'm saying?
You're saying the role players become more effective because there's no fans. That's your point. That's one of your points.
That's my point on that.
That's one of your points. I'm listening. I just want to make sure I'm clear.
Yeah. No,
okay.
All right, that's one point. You agree with that?
I don't disagree with it, but I think that's twofold too. But I don't disagree with it. I think that they could be more. They're not gonna the road games. Role players don't travel to road games, right? Correct. So all you're doing is changing a jersey, but you're playing in the same gym and ain't no fans to affect their game. Pressure's different.
Word.
Okay.
All right, that's one.
So that's one. All right.
And there's another side to that argument, though, Black. But I want you to finish your list, and we'll do a recap. Because as much as I'm a LeBron fan, I want to be a impartial host here. So there's another side to that.
LeBron, I'm just talking about all the players in general of how rough it was. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The vaccinations, all that whole situation of being in quarantine. That's another one where you can't have certain guests come your family after the game. All that kind of stuff. When you got players that 7, 8, 9 years in the league, they got real families and real situations. Your normal routine is broken. You know what I'm saying? And this is for like 3 months. They was in that, right?
A little like 6 weeks, but yeah, it's about 6 to 7 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the flip of that though is your focus is just on the game of basketball, but also you have that group of players who had just kind of dialed it in, who decided, you know what, we're not even, because of the situation, we're not even going full
They
out.
checked out. Some guys checked out because of that situation, like you said, COVID and the isolation.
Certain teams even said it that they just didn't want to be there. So I think
you're right.
You're right.
They folded to the pressure. They folded to the pressure.
Well,
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say it was pressure.
Everybody responds to something differently, right? They play in basketball. But at the end of the day, some people like to be in that bubble and they can focus only on basketball. And some people are worried about outside of basketball and they checked out.
It's pressure. As soon as the conditions change, it adds pressure. So you're either going to adapt to it or you're going to fold to it.
It was the team
you can come with all these little reasons and all these little things that you want to. Either you're going to handle it or you're going to fold. When you playing ball and you talking to coaches and you talking to people, they don't want to hear. Well, they it's like either you're gonna step up to this challenge and handle the situation, or you're gonna cop out.
And that's
it.
true. That's
it's
true.
One or two.
And
one or two.
Some decided that they were going to check out, and because they decided they're going to check out, that made the playing field uneven. That's why it's not an asterisk next to it, but there is that. Okay, everybody wasn't all in as they would.
Yeah, but that how does that? I don't understand how that's part of the game is to be all in. Now, if we agree to play, how do we go? Well, it don't really count because I ain't really play.
No, I didn't say it real count.
Daddy,
the assimilation of talent and the personalities involved, and you're talking about like even the aspect of the role players and that whole thing. If you have a team of role players who again didn't have to, wasn't feeling that same type of pressure that you would normally feel because of the crowd, and you had that collection, and then you had a good head on the top, which was LeBron, which was AD playing in a controlled environment. Listen, their team had the best makeup, which is why they won that chip.
And Miami on the other side was the same way.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of role players, and they had veterans at the top who said, "Look, we here to do a job," and they were zoned in. They were completely dialed in.
See, I didn't think about none of those the reasons that my man said, Black said, and that you saying, Coach. I don't disagree with any of those reasons. My biggest thing was what championship has ever been won where you got to get 2.5 months of a break in between playing the rest of that body.
Right.
No one's ever been able to do that. So that was the one thing I was saying. Like no one's ever been able to rest for 2.5 months and regroup and then play again when their body can heal and they can go back out there strong. That's never happened. That's what I'm saying.
That's a big point. I really think that's a big point. But if that's the case, then you got San Antonio who won theirs in the half season.
They won theirs in 50 games, and I think it's kind of similar but different to a degree because they cut the season short and they had a break too. It was kind of the same thing, and I kind of look at that kind of similar because the Knicks were 8th seed, and the way that the playoffs got shortened, the Knicks ended up in the finals.
Exactly.
So it was one of those things like you said. Some people gonna come and ball, and some people are checked out because it was a different type of season. I'm just saying from the injury standpoint, when you look at the history of the NBA and the finals, there's always some type of injury that plays a factor and stuff like that. And these guys had a chance to heal up, and it was just a different run. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
It was the timing of the break.
Brown was at the tail end of dragging bums to the championship. Okay, when I'm saying dragging bums, I'm talking about dragging bum coaches, and
that wasn't bum coach. I can't disagree with that.
He was right at the end of doing all that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't realize, like Jordan had Dean Smith, Doug Collins,
and Phil Jackson,
and Jackson,
and Tex Winter.
But Bron had never had nobody. He came straight from high school, dragging people to the championship. You know what I'm saying? No, never had nobody teaching them or telling them this and that, but you got to do this and do that, bam, bam, bam. Straight to the championship. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, people forget that. Like, come on. It took Jordan 8 years to get it together.
Take everybody time to get it together. Everybody don't just not many people come in there just winning. I get that.
Except LeBron.
Except LeBron.
It's about to be over now. All the little stuff. In 2 years, nobody gonna remember that little push out. Just like when Jordan was balling, there was a lot of Jordan haters that are disappeared now. Okay, when Jordan was in the league and his full thing, there was a lot of that nigga's a hog. He's not there. But they disappeared now because they trying to be on the right side of history. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's like
the right side. Yeah. I mean, in the 80s, when the Bulls couldn't get out the first round, if they made it to the playoffs at all, there was a lot of Jordan critique on why he couldn't do X, Y, Z.
What? He was a hog. He was this. You know what? Nobody wanted to play with him. All those pro players that he had, Orlando Woolridge, all those big time players, said this little young nigga coming and shooting all the goddamn shots, and we ain't doing nothing but taking L's year after year.
But in all fairness, Black, that Chicago team was a very dysfunctional team who weren't really trying to. They weren't trying to do nothing.
What do you mean, bro? Listen, so you trying to say LeBron's teams was good?
No. That's not what I said.
That's
not what I'm saying. I'm saying in terms of
the niggas fucked his mother.
Yo, come on. Thank you.
The niggas fucked his mother. You can't get more dysfunctional than that.
Thank you.
I mean, LeBron brought that on himself. He shouldn't have treated him like that.
Come on, man. Stop.
Nobody told him to play. Nobody told him to play PlayStation up in the crib.
You see what I'm saying? Do you see the type of stuff that be coming out? Now imagine if you just put that on the book, bro. Like these are the statements that be coming out of people's mouths.
Because on the real, like we dance, and I don't want to lose the point of Jordan, because the point that I was trying to make was Jordan.
Go ahead.
Take away Jordan, like Jordan coming into the league, according to the narrative we get, is that he came in with a certain type of focus that the rest of the team really didn't have and didn't gain until they lost a lot of the other folks, and then you get the Phil Jacksons and all that shit come in, right? So it wasn't just because
that taught him the triangle offense. That taught him the triangle offense and how to incorporate the rest of his players in his game.
Right, and then they got those other players to be able to execute that plan, which means
there it is, right there.
Okay, got you. Right, we just in all fairness. Now with LeBron, what I try to tell people is that the level of respect that he should have had in Cleveland that first round was like he fucked his mom, yo.
He was a kid too. You gotta understand that.
Like, and the whole team knew, and you find out in the heat of the battle, and people he disappeared the second half. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. He didn't leave out of there in cuffs.
Straight up.
It's him coming back on the floor was a championship.
You're the youngest one in the locker room, and they fucked your mama. That's fucked up.
See, I don't like what I know. Hakeem and you were saying. Like, I look at the Cleveland, the first years in Cleveland. I look at that as totally different. I thought that was an accomplishment to get to the championship with that squad.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't begrudge him for that first round. I think my challenge is not just LeBron, is the era of basketball. I'm just a believer that you don't join the competition. That's just my mindset. But that's not a fan talking. When I played the intramural hoops that I did play, I didn't play pro, but when I played against my people, I didn't want to play with them when they beat me. I just wanted to play against them all the time. That's it. That's how I look at it.
I'm with that old school type of ball too. So I'm with that 100%. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to line up against the best. I want to beat the best. You know what I'm saying?
I had no problem with the brother in Cleveland besides Hakeem. Hakeem and the other fans would kind of make you not like him when he was in Cleveland the first time around.
Come on, stop it. Stop it, B.
But because I remember being in a car with him one day going to a meeting we had, and he was trying to sell me on this dude in his third season. And I was like, can he win first? Can he do something first? And he just was, no. I'm like, hey, you gotta win. Gotta do something first. I can't jump on it yet. That's what I'm not doing.
Yeah, but
and now, 18 years later,
right, but I will
tell you that he's one of the greatest to pick up a basketball.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was looking at the expectation coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know brothers who are talented. You see him in high school, and you go to make the next step, and then the next step, the pressure, the focus, the attention, just so many obstacles and hurdles you got to jump just to make it in the league at 17, 18, but then to show improve. And when you look at his freshman year, second year, third year, he was meeting and exceeding all expectation relative to the team he was on.
Yeah.
It was easy for me to see this brother's gonna be one of the greatest players ever. Like that, you could see that.
See, he had I think people underestimate the fact that, and this is not like an excuse or anything like that, but the power of somebody doing something prior to you. Like I think Kevin Garnett had a big effect on LeBron James in terms of the ability for somebody to come into the pros and from high school and have some type of success, just elevated LeBron even more because he saw somebody that did it at a high level and he just went a little higher than that. So you had a blueprint, and it really wasn't a lot of that going on before really Garnett, and then you had Kobe and you had LeBron, and those three to me are probably the most successful to come. I mean, outside of Moses Malone.
Don't forget Tracy McGrady.
And Tracy McGrady. But McGrady had a different circumstance, and I think McGrady's stuff was based on coaching and situation in Toronto because they didn't even know what they had with McGrady. They had that cat riding the bench, and there was no reason for him to be there. They should have had that boy on the floor. So his situation was different. But LeBron came into a situation where, like Garnett, they paralleled to me because they were thrusted right into it, and they both had success. And they both didn't have a lot of talent around them. So LeBron has something to look at and say, I got to go get that, but be better than it. And he did it.
And he came in with an NBA body. He came in, he didn't.
He wasn't skinny.
Exactly. He can basically just transition to the league, and he had the talent.
He came in at 250. Yeah. Came in at 250.
Came in at 250.
Now there's an ongoing conversation. Pushback.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chill. Stop it.
Steroid. Stop
it. But in all of the LeBron James hoopla, he's about to break the record. Well, it seems like he's going to. We never know.
He will.
Definitely. He got that.
Right. So, with him being the face of the NBA for the last
20,
umpteen years.
Well, 10. I give him 10 at least.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
A lot of folks are feeling that Kobe Bryant is being left out of the conversation. He's being forgotten about. And
Mamba.
The Mamba. You make some great points, Black. In that, again, selective amnesia. People tend to forget all those losing years
with Kobe Bryant.
So you being a Laker fan, I was hoping you could go into some of that and talk and compare it to the LeBron era.
Yeah, and you gotta understand, Kobe. A lot of people didn't want to play with Kobe. So it was hard for us to get players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I hate to talk about Kobe, all the things that Phil Jackson put in that book is true. He didn't lie. He might apologize to Kobe about hurting his feelings because he said what he said. But he didn't lie. Kobe is arrogant, self-centered, and will do some of the dumbest shit that you ever seen a superstar do on the court. I done seen him do some miraculous shit that you be like, oh my God. But I also been like, what the fuck is that?
He was a bad shot maker.
Oh yeah, he's the bad shot maker in the history of the game.
Not shot taker, shot maker.
A bad shot maker.
Yeah. Oh, he take bad shots, but he makes them.
No doubt.
But he makes them. But that stops players wanting to play on his squad. You know what I'm saying? And then on the outside, the shit that he did on the outside, I mean, damn.
Yeah, we know that. I don't think there's anybody disagree with the Shaq situation was just not breaking every type of man
people
code
don't talk
possible.
about the Pau Gasol situation. The Pau Gasol situation.
Break it down. Let that shit be broke.
Pau Gasol had the bomb-ass supermodel wife, fiance.
Yeah.
Right? Kobe's wife was like, Kobe, they look so beautiful together, her and Paul, so cute. And Kobe was like, don't get it twisted. Pau Gasol be doing this, that, and the other when we be out on the road, this, that, and the other. So Kobe's wife went and told Pau Gasol's girl what the fuck Kobe said, and she wound up leaving his ass. Yep. So Pau Gasol, that's when they had the beef in the locker room during one of the playoffs. Pau Gasol and Kobe Bryant. Because Pau couldn't believe that Kobe did that shit.
Right.
And that's just his arrogance. His arrogance got his, I hate to say, got them people killed. Because people was telling him, no, it's too crowded. It's too cloudy to fly in the helicopter. Number two, it's only 45 minutes away in a car where you got to drive. And all the other kids are driving. But you, Kobe Bryant, you arrogant as hell, and you want to fly this 45-minute trip in a fucking helicopter. And that wound up being a bad decision. All I'm saying is that certain people get away with being like that. The stuff he did to his mom. He sued his own mom.
Yeah, I know that was crazy.
For stuff that she bought him.
Yeah.
She bought this nigga all his stuff that he went to high school with, all that stuff, and it was in her basement.
Yeah.
For all these years.
So
he had some character flaws.
Yeah, he definitely had character flaws. That
type of person cannot be the leader of your team, bro. You got a person like that being the leader of your team, it's gonna be a problem.
So how did they win after? How did that?
If I was on that team, I would have been punched Kobe in his shit.
And there were people that did that.
Yeah, it happened.
It was you would be the first. It'll be a line.
Yeah, it'd be a line because it's like this nigga got to get his ass whipped, man. This nigga don't know what the fuck.
But I do think that's a great question, Wes. So how did he get those two with that team?
How did he change the narrative and join the Olympic team and just change the narrative down the stretch?
Humbled himself.
Yeah.
And he's a hell of a fucking ball player. Don't get it fucked up.
But he still But what I'm saying,
it's two things. It's two things he did.
You're not wrong. He changed the narrative.
Yeah, he humbled himself, and also his work ethic was above reproach. So if you can be,
no doubt,
if you can have humility,
the boy is not
a work ethic, people will follow that. It took him a while to learn that, though. Like you said, Buddha. His character flaws with snitching on people,
terrible,
is terrible, and that comes from him just never having friends and just being so consumed with the game of basketball.
Maybe it's because he never had a Draymond Green in his life.
He never had social skills.
Well, actually, not. People punched him in the face, so that didn't.
Yeah, he never had social skills.
He don't have no social
basketball
skills.
was everything for him.
That was it. You're right.
Right.
So he didn't know.
The arrogance plays a role in it too.
Well, no, I mean, you got to be arrogant to be great.
Yes, you have to have some type of arrogance. And like I said, everybody's situation in terms of the basketball part, like the character flaws off the court, I understand, but even on the court, when you go back to Kobe, LeBron, and even Garnett, and you said McGrady, Kobe was in a similar situation on the Lakers when he first came into the NBA as a high school player. He was busting Eddie Jones in the ass and Aaron McKee in the ass all summer, and then he can't get on the court. And when the first 3 years, he can't even get on the court, right? Yep. So that's like same thing with McGrady, where those other two dudes got out there right away, and they got to play right away, immediately.
But I don't think
a lot of it has to do with his attitude. I get it, Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. A lot of others it had a lot to do with him growing up. Like LeBron was a leader. That's what made him different than the rest of the if Garnett brought the ball up, he probably would have made a bigger difference because he was a leader too.
Yeah, they had different leadership styles.
Yeah, but Bron, he controlled the ball.
Yep.
Garnett somebody had to pass him the ball, so it was hard for him to control the action.
Yeah, like when Marbury left, he almost broke his heart because he finally had somebody that he could relate to. But Marbury was Kyrie 2.0 before Kyrie. That was Marbury. That mentality. Just a little bit different. They had them skill sets and just you couldn't trust them.
Yeah, no.
Now, Black, I want you to do two things. Those Kobe flaws. I want you to relate them to those losing years, and I want you to talk about LeBron's situation now with the Lakers in these particular losing years? The differences and the similarities.
Well, a lot of times people don't want to say that the Lakers front office is fucking terrible. Been terrible
It's
for the
ass.
last
It's been ass for about
15
15 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Barry
saying?
West left. They've been ass.
Yeah.
It's just been fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever the fuck they've been doing, it's just been terrible up there.
Mitch Kupchak was a GM that should never had a job ever.
Straight up. They did too much friend hiring up there, and the shit got ugly.
Yep.
You know, like they hired a lot of people that were just friends of the organization, and
even at the end, hiring Rob Pelinka. That's the same.
Kobe.
They didn't
Kobe's
continue.
boy.
Yeah, the same
Kobe's
thing. They
guy.
continue to do the
That
same
was Kobe's
stuff.
hire.
That's Kobe's
Yeah,
guy.
but Kobe never has to wear the weight for that for some reason.
Well, he doesn't have to wear the weight because he's not around.
Exactly.
that's right.
He didn't have to.
all.
Rob Pelinka been bad for a long time. He
wasn't bad when they won the championship and he was still alive.
Right.
Kobe.
If he's still alive, they would have that microphone in his face. If he was still alive, they would have his microphone in his face and say, "What do you think? Why do you think he's having a bad day?"
Why do you think this? Why do you think that?
They don't do that to Magic really anymore, and he was part of the management team coming in.
Magic got the
That's why Magic left.
Magic got to quit. He got up out of there.
Got up out of there, man.
His
That's why Magic
justification
left.
for leaving.
Mm-hmm.
He can point to it now and say, "This is why I left."
Yeah.
This is
But
exactly why.
Overall, I mean, being
But
again,
it's JT. I'm sorry, JT said it's Jeannie, but I don't even think it's her because the brothers was just as bad.
Jeannie is the
brother was worse.
the business mind of the organization. She just stepped into the basketball stuff. The brothers were running the basketball operations for years with Mitch Kupchak.
Yeah, the brother
was running the
was
business.
worse. Yeah, the brother was really worse. Pelinka got his job because Kobe didn't want it. Kobe did not want to be in a position where he was there day to day and had to worry about it. So put my man.
I don't know why would you put Kobe in that position.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
That's a stupid idea.
They don't make sense. And if you watch when I watched that HBO show, you could tell that she's still living in the 70s when her father bought the team, trying to buy star power and stuff like that. Yep. And you can't operate an organization in that format anymore. The league has changed. The players have changed. You got to be able to get in front of these players and communicate in a different way. You don't need LA and New York in NBA basketball no more.
And it's about relationships.
Yeah,
it's about relationships now.
They can get their stuff off, their brand off anywhere in the country now.
And Pelinka doesn't have relationships. He was hated.
Yeah.
He was a hated agent. And we look at the flip side with New York Knicks. Leon Rose was loved as an agent, and he still can't do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, but
you don't hear from him.
I said, the front office has been terrible. And right now, that's what LeBron, to me, LeBron is dealing with that same shit.
Yeah.
Like he's dealing with the same shit. Like every year we got a different team. They asked LeBron who he might want, and he tried to do what he was doing when he was young. That now that he's old and he can't do it.
Can I ask you this question, Buddha? So I was watching the Lakers. You a Laker fan too, it seems like you kind of follow the Lakers, right? When we played before they made the AD trade, right? That season before the AD trade, these young boys was rolling with LeBron. Then Ball went down, then LeBron went down, then Ingram went down, and then Kuzma went down. So they all went down, right? So, but they were rocking out to the tune of third place in the West at that time. Third place in the West, going deep into January, right? Yep. So my question is, I know they got a championship, but the fact that you brought up his age now, wouldn't it look better if you had those 5 young boys on that squad and you taught them how to win?
Especially by now, at this point, they will all be balling right now.
They will all be balling out. And I'm just saying, I think
Ball would be hurt.
Championship. I think the Lakers would still win a championship because LeBron had all their attention. He had Rondo's help, and he had all the attention at the time. They learned how to play. Injury hurt that squad. Now, I'm not saying that's not LeBron's fault. That's not the front office's fault. But
it takes somebody in the front office, like you said, to step up and see what we just said.
Yep.
Like
Oh yeah.
Evidently somebody didn't see what we just said.
No, because they caught up into that back in the 1970s. Let's go get the biggest name. So let's give away everybody for Anthony Davis. Now I got you a championship. I get it. But those are unique circumstances is to me is why they won. But the long game would have had them boys not win that championship at 19 and might be on their way to the second or third one playing right now.
Yep.
With that crew.
I mean, and that was also the Rich Paul, LeBron, relationships with.
It was a power play for both sides, right?
Yeah.
And they all learned it organically, right? So Rich Paul is still trying to make a name for himself, and I'm proud of what the brothers are doing. But at the same time, it's a learning game for him too.
Yeah,
right. But that's a game. That's a game of what ifs. But what factual is they won a championship.
And they will still.
And they're struggling right now. That's factual too, because they have an old superstar and no young players.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying, but you don't know what would have happened with those other players. You could only guesstimate. You can only make assumptions.
All I'm doing is going on with how they were playing on the court. That assumption.
I know the Pelicans going to get victory now because of
right. But you got Lonzo Ball is hurt.
Well, now he's hurt now, but again. We don't know if he would have been hurt then. We just don't, like you said, we don't know.
You don't know. You start playing on what ifs, and that's like what you do know is they got a chip. Mission accomplished.
That's the most important thing right there. It's getting a chip and trying to get another one. Well, so it's like
they're not going to get another one.
That ain't going down.
And you have to look at how far you are away from that another one.
I don't really believe. Like, to me, this whole season is not really what it looks like. Like, I think by the end of the season, we're gonna be playing a whole lot better than what we're looking like right now.
I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs.
No, I do. I think we're gonna make the playoffs. I think
they're gonna hover around 8 to 10.
For what I've been seeing, I think we're gonna make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And I think we're gonna do far more better than what we look like right now this season.
I'm gonna agree with Black with a caveat. If Anthony Davis stays healthy,
that's why I say they don't make the playoffs.
That's key.
Stay healthy.
That's key.
I hope none of y'all watched the game I watched last night, or saw the results of that thing
when they lost a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
and AD took 2 shots, and they see, that's what I'm saying. That mentality that should never happen, yo. You can't. So. I cannot see them being able to sustain wins in the West to make the playoffs if they have that mentality. You can't.
AD's supposed to get all the most shots on this squad now.
Yep.
In the fourth quarter, when you balling out like he's been balling out historically,
that's what made him not. You got to understand that. That's what took. You got to understand the reason he wasn't taking a lot of shots in the fourth quarter because they was up 17. That's what made everybody else start trying to get into their bag. You got to understand that. That's what made it. You can't put it on him. Everybody's like, all right, we up 17. So everybody start trying to get in their bag. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's like, oh, we got to keep going to AD and we up 17. Nobody's thinking that. AD's not thinking that either. He's like, we up 17. I'm going to cruise to this W. And that's what got him beat.
No one stopped the bleeding, and you got to blame LeBron too on that, because again he had control of the ball. He actually missed a whole bunch of bunnies, but at least he was taking shots. I think
AD plays better when LeBron is not there.
He does. He takes more ownership in it, and if he can flip that switch and play just as aggressive when Bron is there, you're gonna see a whole different Laker team.
Nah, you remember what I said last week, Cliff? Remember what I said last week about bringing LeBron off the bench, which was blasphemy. I got it, but playing Bron less minutes, more AD Russ combination. I said that last week.
AD and Russ was good last week.
I said that last week.
They was good last night. Look, man, they just blew a lead. Like you don't in a basketball game, bro. The same layup that you was making 2 minutes ago, it's not going in, and you shoot it the same damn way.
There's a lid on the basket.
That shit can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially you play 82 games. All right, this shit. All right, that happened. Yeah. You know, you don't look that deep in it and be like, oh, this shit is gonna fuck up. You don't look that deep into that shit. This is just one game. That's what happened. You look at the film. You find out all the bullshit and where y'all fucking lost the energy and stop doing that, and you remind yourself, okay, we can't do that like that next time. Next time we got to put our foot on the gas pedal, and then you just go on to the next game. They got another game Wednesday. You can't look that deep into that fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Because even if we would have won it, it wouldn't have meant shit. It was just like, all right, we beat them niggas by 17. That didn't mean shit. What we gonna do Wednesday? You know what I'm saying? Like,
what up, Doc?
To me, they still growing. To me, they still growing. Like they getting better every game. Every game that I watch the Lakers, they're getting better.
I agree that they growing, and I also think the part of that growth is Darvin Ham has only been there, you know, short
and he's making them, holding them accountable. He's talking to them in a way.
That's the word that I was looking for.
Yeah,
I was the only one last year saying that Russell Westbrook should have come off the bench. I said that after game 3. In 3 games, I said all they got to do is bring Westbrook off the bench, and it'll be different.
See, Frank Vogel couldn't hold him accountable. Couldn't hold nobody accountable.
Right.
It was crazy.
I'll be right back, y'all. Keep the conversation going.
Crazy.
Yeah, they were just running amok last year with Vogel, which is why they even stopped playing defense for him.
Yeah.
You know, which is the telltale sign.
Yeah, Let me ask you this, Buddha. This the one question I always ask, and I never understand it about LeBron and his game. Now, as great as he is, I think LeBron is probably the best playmaker for role players, right? He can elevate role players' games. Like every time you look at the Cleveland squad, that squad he took, he elevated their games. Why is it that when superstars play with LeBron, their game has to drop?
I don't think their game has to drop. Kyrie's game didn't have to drop.
What about Dwayne Wade? What about Kevin Love? What about
Dwayne Wade was getting toward the end of his
flash together. Everybody always you can say injury, but you can't tell me he's on his way out when they come in together.
He wasn't on his way out. He was just getting the end to the, like you said.
It's a mentality. It's a mentality. I think that players, when they play with LeBron, because I think he does this to his teammates, fellow superstars, and that he makes you feel as though you are second fiddle to him.
I think they see his game and they do that because LeBron is a giving superstar.
I agree with that. And unless you have a mentality,
if you want to get busy, he's gonna let you get busy.
Kyrie got busy.
Gotta have that mentality.
No, because Kyrie had a different mindset.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to get busy, he'll let you get busy. A lot of the other superstars, they not. You gonna get busy when I let you get busy.
Chris Bosh, Kevin Love was like, I can't do it.
Yep.
I don't want to ruffle his feathers.
It was Dwayne Wade. Look, it was Dwayne Wade who told LeBron, "Look, dude, you got to be the man in charge.
Yeah,
you gotta take." Yeah, he went. You gotta be the man. You gotta take over the reins. You gotta stop being the nice guy, letting everybody be. You gotta be the man.
And we got to remember that was the height of LeBron's superpowers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was clearly the best man on the
best
planet.
player in the league.
You know, so it's easy to defer to him.
Once he told LeBron that, LeBron started doing some out of body shit. You know what I'm saying? And Dwayne Wade was like, "That's what I'm talking about, right there."
Well, Dwayne Wade Dwayne Wade is comfortable. He's always been comfortable in his skin. He one of those dudes.
Like I said, and his flashness was coming to an end. Like he wasn't like the flat, all that falling down once and get up twice was taking a toll. You know what I'm saying? Flashes would be flying around.
That's gonna be the death of Ja too.
Ja.
Oh yeah, Ja's not gonna last. John Durant is not gonna last as a superstar.
That ground is unforgiving.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Zion? Is he gonna last? He need to get started.
Zion he got to turn it up for me. He got to start it up. Like he got to say fuck it and lose some of that goddamn weight, man. You can't be out there looking like Fat Albert. Think you're gonna serve niggas, man.
Nah, he lost mad weight. He look great, right? He look chiseled.
Yeah, he look great right now.
He look all right, but he's looking a little sloppy again. Right now. I watched him the other night. I'm like, come on,
it only take an extra patty on that burger for him.
Is this a little room service? That's all.
It, he looked like he done got a little sloppy again. Like he doing too much street clothes, too much walking around, too much like even when he on the court, I'm seeing too much walking around, too much. I'm like, come on, bro, you can't be doing that, man. You need to be you young too, so you need to be Energizer Bunny out there. You know, and I'm
the injuries giving him the time off for him to beef up in between. That's all it is.
So let me get a little analysis of KD and what we can expect for the rest of his career.
Woo, that's a good one because KD is somebody who a lot of people think. What I always say, KD is nothing but a Iceman in this generation.
Bang.
You know,
that's exactly who he is.
That's just what he is. You cannot count on him to take your team nowhere, to win something nowhere, to be the one with the grit and shine. But at the end of the day, he's gonna say, I have 40 though.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But you can't count on him to suck it up. And he could be punked. So it's like, that's why I look at KD. Like LeBron is no longer the man, but Giannis is past him. Fuck KD. Giannis is better than KD. Mm-hmm. I'd rather have Giannis taking me to the championship than KD.
Well, I was going to ask you who's the best player in the league right now, and it would be Giannis.
Giannis.
Yeah,
Giannis.
I agree. I agree.
Giannis, that boy go hard.
Both ends.
Every night.
Both ends.
Every night.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You can't. It's like, what? Come on. KD is like, and when it comes down to the clutch time, Giannis is going to fight you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got fight.
Yeah. KD, when they rolled up on him in Boston, he was looking like a deer in the headlights.
Now, hold on. Why are you there? Why you just brought that up? Oh, man, the other night with Pat Bev and Ayton. It should have never got to Pat Bev because AD should have stepped up and he didn't. And that's disappointing.
AD should have stepped up when Pat Bev pushed the guy.
When Dev Booker D'd up Reeves, knocked him to the floor. The tap on the face was really no big thing. That was like nothing really happened. But Ayton went, slammed the ball, and then hovered over Reeves, like growling at him, like, yeah, AD standing right here. And it took Pat Bev to run across the court and do something I don't condone, ladies and gentlemen. The whole hitting somebody in the back when they're not looking is foul. Like, you should really face somebody.
He don't like looking at people in the eye, do he?
No, that's whack. However, I do think the Lakers should pay his fine.
Yeah.
Because somebody should have stepped up, and it should have been AD. Matter of fact, AD should pay his fine. Because it should have been AD.
Yeah,
AD should have stepped up. He was right there. You got this dude hovering over your guy, and you just come on, man.
Some people ain't built like that. Though. Some people is not built like that, bro. Some people just like, you know how it is, bro. You come from Raleigh Park. You know what it is. You know who's gonna fight if they call a foul and who wasn't. Period. You know what I'm saying? And AD is not gonna fight when you call a foul. Some people is gonna be like, nigga, fuck that. We're gonna fight. And he just don't got that. He just don't got that personality, bro. You can't make him have it. He don't got it. AD is not, like I said, he was scoring a lot of points with the Pelicans, but he wasn't gonna take them nowhere. Nope. He was kept scoring, and the same thing he will do with us when LeBron leaves. He might score some points, but AD is not the type of person that's gonna take you nowhere.
AD gonna be traded real soon.
Hell yeah, we're gonna get some beautiful pieces for his ass.
Hope so.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get some.
He said, "Hope so."
Yeah.
So you know, before we let you go, Black, just
no doubt,
real quick, give us some predictions for the rest of the season.
Oh, did you see that young boy last night we was playing against? God damn, that point guard.
Oh, Nebhard.
Oh yeah, he's nice.
Yeah,
he's nice.
That boy nice. He's so nice. I'm like, I don't even know how tall he is. He just looks skinny and just long and just like he just running around looking like Penny Hardaway. He looked like Little Penny.
Wow. That's the boy that hit the winning shot?
Yeah, that's
no,
yeah.
he passed it to the boy with the winning shot. He made the pass.
Okay.
Yeah, and he also said he was going to do something special before the game.
The boy is like Penny Hardaway. I was
That's-
like,
That's big right there, brother.
yeah. I'm loving the new NBA. I'm loving the new guys that's coming up.
Yeah, these
And
young boys, man. These
young boys is nice, and it's gonna be beautiful. I can't wait. I love LeBron and all that, but I can't wait for these niggas to go.
Yep.
Even KD and all of them.
That's
niggas.
what
I
I'm
can't
saying.
wait.
I'm in the same
I
spot.
can't
Like
wait.
the
I
John
can't wait for
Morants, the
them niggas to
Jason
get out.
Tatums, the Jalen Browns. I like those
Yeah.
dudes.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
those dudes.
I'm ready for them to be the ones taking over the league.
Yeah.
You know
Nice.
what I'm saying?
Nice. Well, look, bro, you always welcome back. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
We appreciate you spending some
Absolutely,
time with
man.
matters in
I gotta
sports.
salute you for the education. I knew Hakeem was setting us up all week because he was calling me too much this week, asking what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, which I'm gonna be on the call. I knew this was headed down the road that he wanted. He's been waiting too long for this day.
Yeah, no doubt.
He been having me in his back pocket, waiting to slap.
Yeah. It's all
man.
good.
No
Good
doubt.
stuff,
But
good
you know,
stuff, good
hey, Hawk is my Junie now. I gotta have his back all day, every day, ever since he was 10 years old.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's my guy right there.
When
I first got my contract from Capital, I'm walking down the street. I'm on my way to Sandwiches Unlimited.
No doubt.
And I run into black. I run into black like, yo, I'm about to get signed.
Yo,
let me see. Come here.
Look, but most niggas don't have their contract on them.
I shit on me. This shit was
this smart ass nigga reading the lines like, nigga, this shit say blah 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 blah. I'm like, intelligent ass nigga.
Man, yeah, man. Well, it all started from Raleigh Park, Bush
No
City.
doubt.
You know what I mean?
No
doubt. Appreciate you, man. Salute.
All right. No doubt. Respect.
Good seeing you, brother.
Peace. All the brothers out there, man. Respect y'all, man. And shout out to Brick City, East Orange. Yeah. All the niggas in the Bush City, Raleigh Park. That's what it is.
Yes, sir. My dude. Peace. Yeah, that was a good one right there. That was a good one.
I told you, Coach. He had it in for us.
Hey, ever since LeBron was out there lying and everything, I knew he had to bring something to support his LeBron love.
Man, my man out there, he looking. I wouldn't say looking raggedy, but the chips is down right now.
Yeah, you was cornered like a little cat, and you started coming out clawing cats. I gotta go into the heavy artillery.
I like it.
That was all right.
Oh man, so
the Lakers' good play could have been enough, but they stunk up the joint last night. They couldn't last and enjoy prosperity. That was
3-2 over 5 games.
Well, they won 3 in a row. Yeah, they won 4 in the last 5. Yeah,
4 in the last 5. Oh, 4 in the last 5. Okay, yeah, I had it twisted.
Yeah.
But I tend to agree with Black in that I think they're gonna figure some things out. I don't know how good they're gonna be or where they're gonna be seated. I ain't gonna make no predictions, but I don't think they're gonna be as terrible as last year and how they looked at the start of this year. I think they'll start to figure some things out. Yeah, man. But that said, there's some other things that I wanted to discuss going into football. Namely, Mr. Primetime, Deion Sanders. I don't know if you guys got the memo.
I read it.
Yeah, I read it too.
Wow. So it was two things. Freeze got hired by Auburn.
And they didn't want Deion.
But Freeze has some shady business going on.
He was on Match. He was on Match.com a whole lot, but it wasn't Match. He was finding his escort service online.
Right. And then when he got it was something where he got called out on it. And
they asked him about it, and he said that it was a misstyle.
It was a misdial.
And then basically they confirmed his 20 or 30 misstyles, and then they confirmed that it was an actual, escort service. So that's why he got fired. But
no. I'm hearing that's not why he got fired.
Prior, they were covering up a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah, well, other things
prior to that.
within college rule regulations or NCAA regulations, he was breaking. And add that to it, he was released.
Wow.
They mutually parted ways.
What's my man on ESPN, Paul Feinbaum?
Feinbaum, yeah.
Feinbaum. He said the reason why Freeze got fired was that he, I guess when the allegations first went up, he went heavy against the people who had found him out, and that person sued for defamation.
Yeah, and they couldn't support him.
It was Houston Nutt, the coach prior.
Houston Nutt, right.
Yeah, and it was apparently they colluded, and I'm talking about the university, Ole Miss, and Freeze to try to blame everything on Nutt, and basically, and to be honest with you, they said he flat out lied on his recruiting trips.
There you go.
To parents, to everybody. All the allegations that they were hearing, he basically passed it off on Nutt, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, Nutt ended up suing him.
That's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Now you take that, they pass over Deion Sanders, primetime, and you just, once again, you see how I don't know if we call it racism, but the irony, the how can I say, the coincidence?
Yeah.
It's just the regular chain of events, the regular business. What do you call it?
It's another day at the office for them.
Another day at the office. How the system works is how it goes.
Yep.
I mean, but did we expect Deion to be hired at Auburn? It is in Alabama.
True.
I mean,
but to the point. I mean, that's even more to the point.
I think the biggest question for me is I just don't understand why he would go. And I get, like he said, he's already been in the spotlight. He's Coach Prime, and he's needed where he's at. Mm-hmm. And it, for me, is like, why would you do what you're doing? And I get the facilities are bad, but every new home needs the first brick to be put in the ground, in the cement, to build it, right? Mm-hmm. And he's already building a foundation for HBCUs, and he's already put a call for help to challenge some black billionaires to even start supporting it, to the point where he might get that support if he just stayed put. Yeah. Like, I think if he left now, the college HBCUs are going to take 10 steps back.
I agree.
But I think that we don't know exactly who else is out there, who else is knocking on his door. I don't think he's going to take that Colorado job.
I don't think he'll take Colorado.
I think he's going to take, and which I'm hoping, and hopefully nothing this year, but a high-profile gig where he can, basically be able to uplift that black community, where blacks will definitely be his focal point, and he can really bring that to that level of I guess influence over that particular.
He's doing that, but he's doing that now.
Yeah, but I think he wants to do it at a higher level on a school that can. Really,
I don't know.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does.
I think so. I think he does.
I mean, what can he do at a Power 5 to bring them to a higher level to help his people?
Yeah. What Power 5 can he get that's gonna help black people?
Some predominantly probably SEC white school, I guess. I don't know.
It's the SEC.
I think he wants to. I'm hoping this is what he. I mean, I think there's a bigger plan for it. I mean, 22-2 in his 2-year stint. I think he really thinks highly about those two, the 5-star athlete and the 4-star athlete he got. He would be doing exactly what these other guys do, recruiting someone. He went into someone's living room and told those mothers or those families that he's gonna mentor these kids. So if he took a job outside of Jackson State at this point, what is he going to look? How is he going to look at those two kids?
Well, that's why I think you got at least another year out of him, because after next year, those guys can go pro. So I don't think he's leaving this year. I think he got.
Isn't Travis a sophomore this year or junior?
Sophomore.
Sophomore. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed put for a long time, because
I think he should.
The elevation
of
HBCU athletics, the elevation of HBCU athletics.
Yeah, that's what I think his play is.
The ability to draw now the top level high school athletes to come to HBCUs now brings more attention.
He becomes the commissioner of the
CBS. Yeah, this CBS deal is in play, I'm sure, largely because we get to see we see Mississippi, Jackson State, I mean, when you talk about the competitive nature, that's the playing field. It seems like Deion Primetime Sanders wants to be competitive on, not necessarily a football field, or where, like, in his effect in that sense still opens up doors for other black coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And other places.
I think the bigger with that bigger play, I think he's looking at, why can't these schools be in the, what is it, the FCS or the FBS? One of them.
Yeah, FCS.
Why can't they be playing at that level? If they can recruit at that level, they should be able to play at that level. I think that's the play he's making.
Yeah. And they already set it up when they asked him about, does he think that Jackson State would be competitive against Alabama, and he laughed, don't even do that to me. Of course not. Of course not. I wouldn't even
put my kids out there.
Put my kids out there. But you give us 4-6 years.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
That's what I think his play is, because that's what happened in basketball. You got the MEAC schools that are competitive. You look at this young college basketball season, a bunch of black colleges beat some Power 5 schools.
Yep.
And some of them handily.
Yep.
I think that's the play he's looking to make with black colleges, because you got to get them on that level. Otherwise, him leaving, they just take a step back, and it's never going to happen.
I wish I like this discussion, but like when I was listening to Keyshawn, and I like Keyshawn Johnson for the most part.
Thank you. I'm glad you brought that up.
But I didn't like how he was just promoting him leaving. Like, I think like black men need to understand it's not even rocket science. Like, his place is where he is. He can have more impact there than he's gonna ever have at a Power 5 conference.
Right, but in fair,
I always talk, we got to leave and go get the bigger check and keep getting the bigger check from them.
Yeah.
And keep doing and proving ourselves.
They already want to stop him. They already want to stop him from what he's doing, because Nick Saban told you the golden. He already spilled the secret. He spilled the beans. That one player is worth a lot of money to a Power 5 conference.
Yeah.
One player.
Now,
you can't have 2 and 3 go.
Yep.
Yeah, Keyshawn was, definitely cheerleading for him leaving and taking the Colorado job, saying that him doing that would open up the door for other black coaches. If he can go there and be successful, that enables other people to now get looks at these big institutions. But again, it's still siphoning off the resources. It's giving away the jewel.
But it's always that mindset. In order to be truly deemed successful, you got to go do it their way for them.
Yeah.
At their institutions.
Yeah, like we can get a nice trend of the top athletes going to black institutions.
Yep.
That's where the competition is now, because we already know where the real talent is. We already know who the majority of these players are African Americans. Or if they went to black institutions, that's where the talent is.
And then the money will follow.
The money will follow.
We had this conversation last year, fellas, and we said it's going to take a commitment for Deion to stay and commit to at least, you talk about a 5-7 year, that type of commitment where you can not only get the players and you see the players go through the program, they do their thing in the pros, and that whole pipeline using Deion as a conduit is working.
And that's what
we got to HBCUs, and it's working, but it's going to take years.
Yeah, but
every year we're going to see colleges come after him like this. We got to keep supporting him to stay there, and we got to keep making sure he's being supported financially with what he needs for those kids. You know, because he don't need the money. He's not going anywhere for the money.
No.
Can we give a big shout out to Jamal Williamson, who's out there in the building, who's now assistant coach for Moravian College, I believe it is, out in Ohio. Please, in the comment, correct me if I'm wrong.
Excellent.
You know, the last time we had him on the show, he was assistant principal at the campus high school.
Yep.
Since then, he's retired, and now he's coaching college kids, which is a great look. You know,
That's
so
awesome.
he's out there in the building. We're gonna have him come back on pretty soon as well.
That's what's up.
But no, I believe that I think Deion wants to take these black colleges from FCS to FBS and playing at that level, and you know, getting our people to invest in black colleges and making sure they had the same resources, because all it is resources. At the end of the day, it's about resources.
Yeah. So that's Moravian University in Pennsylvania, not Ohio. Thank you for the correction, brother, man.
Now, I think you're right, Coach. I hope that's the play that I'm rooting for Deion, and I hope he stays on this path. But you know, you knew they were going to start coming after him because they get him out of that. They got to get him out that position because they
control him. If he
control him, they control him in the
Power 5. They control him. He's done.
Yep.
Well, they're not stupid though, y'all. We gotta remember. We gotta give him his props. Prime knows they got a jewel. They get him. You know what I'm saying? He's uber talented. Wherever he goes, he's gonna be successful.
It's not about success. It's about control. If you at a Power 5, they control you. It's not you going to the dinners they tell you to go to. You going to the meetings they tell you to go to.
Deion is HBCU college basketball football right now. Deion is that.
Yes. Yeah. He loses all power if he goes to a Power 5.
Yep.
JT wants to know if he could be a water boy or somebody, asking for a friend. Nut, you know, out there in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, got somebody who wants to be a water boy. You can hook him up. We give him the plug. Yeah, man. Let me see.
I think the only job, though, Deion would take, I think he would go back to Florida State as alma mater.
I do too.
That I think he would do.
Yeah. I mean, they passed on him, didn't they? When he got to Jackson State, you know.
They did.
You know, I don't think
since passing on.
Deion doesn't strike me as the LeBron type. Like, he ain't going back. He fronted me once. He ain't gonna front me twice.
Yeah, you ain't gonna front me twice. And he didn't have Jeff Saturday experience.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't have Jeff Saturday experience, so he couldn't get hired.
Hey, Jeff Saturday doing a good job though.
Okay.
He's doing a good job.
Did they win last night? They beat Pittsburgh.
They lost.
No, they lost.
They lost. Caught that L.
Matty Ice.
Well, I'm trying to save that conversation for later. I'm waiting for our next guest to hit the building. I told him 8:30, so we got 7 minutes to kill. In that, maybe we could talk about Brett Favre asking for his name not to be part of this.
He's part of a smear campaign that, you know, the media is linking his name.
Oh, the fake news. He's going the fake news route.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he said he shouldn't be part of the lawsuit.
Oh, okay.
And I agree, he shouldn't. He's Brett Favre.
Yeah. Okay, Brett.
Why wouldn't he think that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's getting real out there.
The brazenness is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, while we got this moment, way off on a tangent, having nothing to do with sports. Rest in peace, Irene Cara.
She died?
Yeah,
bro.
Facts.
2 days ago? 3 days ago?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Sparkle is gone.
Sparkle. Yeah, man.
Sparkle. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So, that face, that voice, that talent, such an important part of our childhood.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, she's with the ancestors looking down.
Oh, how old was she? Her.
63.
Wow. Okay. I thought she
Yeah.
might be in her 60s.
Yeah, 63. You think of hip hop, man. It's like Irene Cara is such a part of that, like right when the culture really started to explode. So she had that South Bronx, half Puerto Rican, half Cuban, fame, I want to live forever,
Yeah.
like man, flash
I remember her
dance,
saying sticks, sticks, sticks.
sparkle. Like that's one of the first crushes right there.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, trailblazer, no doubt.
Yeah, when she was in Sparkle though, I can't lie. I was kind of sweating sister though.
Yeah,
That's
sister.
Lynette McKee in her heyday.
Oh yeah, like she was something else. Yeah.
Sister and the sisters.
Mm-hmm. She reminded me of back then, and two separate people, but remember the crush you had on Brenda from Cooley High?
Oh.
Man.
Brenda from Cooley High.
Ooh, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. We just killing time, ladies and gentlemen, on IZM Sports. We got our next guest hopefully coming in the building pretty soon. I told him 8:30. We got 4 minutes. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let me.
Well, we got that World Cup. We can talk about the World Cup. Anybody follow that?
Yeah, USA, baby. You guys talk about the World Cup. I'm gonna step over here, and I know it's getting hectic for Iranians right now. Oh my Lord.
The US beat Iranians?
Oh my God. Oh Lord. It's hectic for them. But y'all can hear that conversation. I'll be right back.
A couple of them might come up missing.
Yeah,
What's the score of the US Iran game?
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah, it was a good game too. I mean, just how US scored, their best player basically dives into the goal. He gets hurt scoring the goal.
Wow.
So, he had to come out the game.
Chris Pulisic.
Yeah, and it was just after that, it was just playing the,
keep away.
How did they lose? They lost to England, right? The first game, right?
No, they tied both games.
Yeah.
Oh, they tied both.
They basically games. So they got a point, and Iran actually blew out Wales, who we tied. So they had 3 points. So basically, we had to beat them to get into the knockout stage.
Yep. And they just had to tie us.
Yeah, they just had to tie us. So.
I mean, U.S. was playing for their lives out there to keep them jokers from scoring a goal.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good game. It was a really
good game. That's what's up right there. I had a college classmate of mine. He has 3 kids. He took his youngest daughter out there.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You heard how they changed the rules and it changed a lot of the things, but they agreed to serve beer, and then last minute they
did.
They banned beer from all the stadiums, and
that was a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Budweiser, right, was their sponsor, right?
Budweiser is their sponsor.
Yeah. And
a couple of other things that I guess went against their religious beliefs. You can't show any LGBT flags, or they can't wear the armbands that they were going to wear, and it's been a lot of things that they've hidden from the American public, including the deaths in building the stadium.
Man.
And then they estimated at 40, 50 deaths. Now they're reporting it's been over 500 deaths.
Oh, what happened? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Woo. Well, we're just talking about Qatar and all the controversy it has been. They banned alcohol just before the start of the Olympics, which I guess Budweiser says cost them tens of millions of dollars, obviously.
I mean, but that's to be expected. It's an Islamic country. Like,
yeah, but they had an agreement in place. They pulled it out last minute.
Yeah, you'd expect that shit.
Yeah.
But you said people died, lives lost.
Well, yeah, they had apparently they were their workers in the conditions they were working in and getting ready for the tournament and building the stadiums and everything. The extreme heat,
over 100-degree heat.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, they basically told the world that the deaths were about 40 to 50 people, migrant workers or whatever. But they just recently released 2 days ago that it's the real numbers between 400 and 500 people.
Wow, that's crazy. Sad, so sad, and just another example of the devaluation of human life.
Human life, yeah,
that's global,
like that.
Cheap labor, and to the point where you're killing people. Literally, people are giving their lives over to this big, huge money-making venture, and it's just a long, deep conversation that we're not going to get into right now because our next guest is in the queue. Now, the conversation that we're going to have with Mr. Casey Gain is actually a dope segue that we had this conversation about, the workers, the labor force that built this and who lost their lives, because we talk about sports and you talk about corruption and you talk about, the elite locally and globally. Football is just a huge moneymaker in this nation and on this planet. And when you start to get into the depths of how the NFL was born and some of the key players, it just makes us question even more after Kaepernick why we invest our time into this product called the NFL. Now, Jerry Jones last week was just once again put on Front Street in regards to an anti-integration action at Little Rock High School in Arkansas in 1957, which is actually something, fellas, I don't know if you remember, but I remember from grade school learning about desegregation of the Little Rock High School in 1957. That's something, and I almost want to say that picture is the picture that was in our textbooks to show us the history of that, right? And now this guy in this picture, Jerry Jones, owns the most successful, the wealthiest franchise on the planet, sports franchise. Deep history. Our next guest, Casey Gain, goes even further in looking at the NFL itself and the origins of the NFL, some of the key players, and how these relationships filter down to some places you never believe.
Crazy. I was even doing the research. It was hard for me to believe. It was like a movie.
Wow.
So yeah, I was actually. So I have a. Oh, sorry.
No. That's it. I mean, I shared the video that you put up on YouTube with the panel. That's Wes. That's Cliff. That's Dr. Coach E.
What's going on, y'all?
How you doing, man?
See what's going on.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I got some feedback from Wes and E. I don't know if Cliff, you got a chance to check it out.
I checked it. Yeah, I saw it.
Now, for total transparency, myself, Wes, and Cliff have been diehard Dallas Cowboy fans.
Damn shame.
Since the early days of the 70s. It's hard for me to support after the Kaepernick situation. Jerry showed us who he was, who he was down with, the Trump affiliation, so forth and so on. But when I see the star, it does a little something to my heart. You know what I mean?
I mean, we've all been indoctrinated by like American culture. I got my Patriot shirt because when I was 9 years old, I was a little boy and I watched them get beat by the Bears and I cried. And that indoctrination has stayed with me, just like G.I. Joes and Transformers and all these X-Men movies and Marvel movies I still watch. There's a lot of indoctrination, which America does very well. Sports is part of the circus, and America makes a great circus where you could really get easily distracted by and not pay attention to the real stuff's going on. So I understand. I'm a big sports fan myself. World Cup's going on right now. I would like to protest the World Cup and not give them none of my streaming money, but you just gotta watch.
Yeah. So before we get into the conversation at hand, real briefly, just tell the people who you are and then what led you to this particular topic.
All right. Well, I've looked up to my big bro Hakeem Green, so I kind of followed him in his path. So I was a teacher, then I became a rapper. Now I'm a sort of journalist, blogger. So really what led me to this path was writing this book on the CIA in Jamaica, which I put out 6 years ago. And when I did it, not only did I find out about the CIA in Jamaica, I also found out about the CIA in America. And so a little bit I found out about this figure H.L. Hunt, who seemed really interesting, but he wasn't central to my book back then. So he was in it at a little point. So then most recently I started a new YouTube show called Reality Theory. And my first episode, I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to break down what the term conspiracy means. I'm going to break down how people are charged with conspiracy all the time for their crimes and how the government does conspire and how they use propaganda to kind of stop that conspiracy. So in that one, I touched on H.L. Hunt a little bit. H.L. Hunt is a notorious white supremacist, big Dallas oil man who was also like a big underworld Dixie Mafia figure. So I did a little research on him. So then when the Jerry Jones came out, I was already deep in my H.L. Hunt research and finding out that, you know, he bought his son the Kansas City Chiefs. He also helped his son found the AFL. So the AFL is all the AFC teams, basically. Mm-hmm. Dolphins, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Patriots, right? Because H.L. Hunt's son, Lamar, wanted to buy an NFL team, but they wouldn't let him because they didn't want no little rich kid with no daddy's money. So he was like, well, F y'all, I'm going to buy my own team, my whole league. So he bought a league. He bought a whole bunch of rich friends, and their league was competing. NFL wound up bringing the Cowboys to Dallas, right? And then eventually they was like, yo, why don't we have a Super Bowl? Lamar Hunt crowned the term Super Bowl between the NFL and the AFL, and eventually they merged. But the AFL and all that side, my conference, the AFC, is deeply rooted. If you win the AFC, you get the Lamar Hunt trophy. And Lamar Hunt is a man who was, you know, he's investigated for the JFK assassination. He knew Jack Ruby. They said he flew to Mexico right after the JFK assassination. So he's not as vocally racist as his father, but he never condemned his father's actions. He never said, nah, Dad, I don't want none of that racist money. You know, so he definitely, his other son, Nelson Bunker Hunt, was the real guy who carried on his racist tradition, was like the John Birch Society, which is like the intellectual version of the Klan, like supporting Strom Thurmond, supporting George Wallace. So that's what they was kind of all about. And also at the same time, this is what I got from Brother Malcolm, is that the same H.L. Hunt, the father of Lamar Hunt, who was the founder of the AFL, AFC, Kansas City Chiefs, H.L. Hunt was also funding the Nation of Islam, and he was kind of bringing them together with white supremacist groups like George Rockwell, you know what I mean? So that's why we see pictures of George Rockwell meeting with the Nation of Islam. So this is like, and Jerry Jones, it was bad. He was 14 years old, but really what we see is the Hunt family. They is really wicked and evil, and they's also connected to the MLK assassination. Like H.L. Hunt hated Martin Luther King. He had a radio program and a newsletter, and he dedicated like 90% of the time talking about how Martin Luther King was a commie. He got his information for J. Edgar Hoover, and then eventually H.L. Hunt's aide, the grandfather of Clark Hunt, Lamar Hunt died. Now Clark Hunt owns it, his son. So his aide, John Curlington, said H.L. Hunt gave him $125,000 to go to Percy Foreman, the lawyer for James Earl Ray, and pay him off so James Earl Ray would plead guilty. And if people really investigate, if you ever read like William Pepper's book, The Plot to Kill King, you understand that James Earl Ray was not the assassin. So having him plead guilty was a way to kind of cover up the conspiracy. So we have a man here who was involved in the JFK assassination, MLK assassination, funding the Nation of Islam, and also funded all sorts of white supremacist groups. I haven't read the whole book yet, but his book wrote an aid, and allegedly he was involved in the assassinations of Jimmy Hoffa and Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy too. But I haven't read the whole book. I've just focused on MLK and JFK. Yeah. So this is the type of evil money that, you know, that started the NFL or AFL, AFC.
Yeah, when you say the Dixie Mafia, please explain, because that's a term that we're not generally familiar with.
Well, people know the mafia, which is like the Italian mafia, right? So we assume them, we associate with the crime. It's an Italian term. But a quieter group, they're not as like loud, they don't get as much media attention as the Dixie Mafia. Now, these are old moonshiners going back to the 30s. These are people in places like Arkansas. These are, you know, they got a lot of money from gambling when gambling was illegal. Then they controlled the narcotics. And a lot of them clean their money through oil in Texas. So we have I have H.L. Hunt's FBI file, and it said he actually won his oil lease gambling. He was involved in prostitution. He still ran like a bookie organization while he was funding the NFL. So which is conflict of interest to say the least.
Well, yeah, I think that's an important kind of element, because when we talk about like we don't think the good old boys network, we don't think of it in illegal terms, or
very illegal. And this is so I was reading the article on Jerry Jones that was in the Washington Post that kind of accompanied the picture, and they mentioned his whole life story, and then they kind of glossed over something. It was like he tried to buy the San Diego Chargers in 1966. So it's 23 years old. Young Jerry Jones was trying to buy an AFL professional franchise, and it wasn't cheap back then. And he had a rich daddy, but not like a white supremacist H.L. Hunt rich daddy. Like his dad was all right, but not no NFL franchise buying. So what your man Jerry Jones did is he went to Jimmy Hoffa and the Teamsters Union, and he got a pension loan from them. And for those who are familiar with the Mafia, if you watch like Casino, or even if you watch the movie on Jimmy Hoffa, The Irishman, or Hoffa, you know what I mean, any of those movies, you will know that what Hoffa was doing with the pension fund, he was using it as a kind of loan bank for mobsters. So he would he would get a lot of fronts from the mob. They would get a Teamsters loan. They would buy their casino, and the mob will own it, because casinos is not gonna let no mafia. John Gotti can't just walk up, hey, I want to buy this casino. No, he got to get his clean white friend. You know what I mean? With no record, who's actually from there, who's from the South. So we see a little bit sort of the Dixie Mafia and casino with the Las Vegas types. So they are in some ways as powerful as the Mafia. Like Bill Clinton, also heavily involved with the Dixie Mafia. They was involved in a lot of like Iran-Contra drug smuggling.
Wow, deep. Now, when we talk about them extending money to the Nation of Islam, no, that's like a really touchy subject, and you're gonna get a lot of pushback on that, because of course, it can never be accepted that Elijah Muhammad was accepting money from racist white folks who didn't want the best for black people.
I think it's pretty clear, and all the evidence points to it. Like all the biographies, Malcolm himself said it. Malcolm wasn't one to lie. Malcolm gave a speech where he talked about Elijah Muhammad taking money from H.L. Hunt. And Malcolm was one of the first people to connect H.L. Hunt to the JFK assassination, because there's a speech that Malcolm had 6 days before he died where he talked about Elijah getting money from a rich white man, and then never seeing anyone as scared as Elijah Muhammad when he found out about the JFK assassination, kind of insinuating he was getting money from this rich white man in Dallas behind the JFK assassination. So when Malcolm talked about it, like he didn't want anyone looking at him or his homie like, did y'all want him killed? Like, who's their connections? He didn't want to be investigated because it would lead to H.L. Hunt, right? And you lead to H.L. Hunt, you get to the conspiracy.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Damn.
So, no disrespect. Malcolm said it, not me. Other journalists have done the research. It's ready, and it's not anything. It's like, I have a lot of respect for Marcus Garvey. He met with the Klan. It's, sometimes people do that. But I think the wrong thing is when you take money from them. You know what I'm saying? Because people pay you money to control you. It's all right to meet and negotiate, and we see all the heat like Kanye's taking for Kanye and Trump is taking just for being next to Nick Fuentes, and these guys is, So there is something I understand. Like if you deal with like white supremacists like that, people,
Now I know
you take money from them.
I've heard you say that Jerry Jones, we shouldn't pay attention to Jerry Jones, or H.L. Hunt is the Hunt family, and like they're the real characters. I want to push back a little bit on that, in as much as when you look at, say, President Obama and Jeremiah Wright's relationship, how Obama has to continually go on the disassociation tour to disconnect himself from someone who appears to be radical, right? When we see Jerry Jones come out in full force and supported Trump as a response to Colin Kaepernick, like
I'm gonna go extra conspiracy on you here and just address the whole Jeremiah Wright thing. So there was murders in Jeremiah Wright's church right around the time Obama was first running to get elected. And then there was hold up. There was a white guy. There was a white guy, and he said that when Obama was a state senator, he was giving him head, and while Obama was crack.
We don't.
No. No, hey, Obama's CIA. We ain't got to defend no Obama, man. I ain't here to defend Obama.
No. I'm not here.
Yeah, why don't we go off on no tangent?
But I want to keep it sports. That's what we want to keep it.
Yeah.
Right. We
but just that Obama analogy. If you want to play by mainstream media rules, we should pay attention.
No. The Obama analogy is that a black man has to continuously disassociate himself from what appears to be radical and anti. So even when you talk about anti-Semitism, right? Trump is vocally an anti-Semite. No one's asked the folks around them to disassociate themselves from Trump when he's vocally an anti-Semite, or he's said things to lead you to believe he's an anti-Semite. Nobody asked Jerry Jones to disassociate himself from the president of the United States after January 6th. You see what I'm saying? It's like that responsibility is not, and in holding Jerry Jones responsible for the decision he makes in his life, not so much as a 14-year-old, but when there's a history here, right, we should call people to account, which will then lead us to H.L. Hunt. Because you have to account for that too.
But I think we have a media that's kind of full of like distractions, right? And they really want to get you to like an angry reaction, and they don't want you to think. So they want you to just look at this picture. And a lot of us did grow up reading those textbooks, watching Eyes on the Prize like me, really identifying with those students. And some of us is old enough where we might have integrated to school and faced that type of racism. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of us is going to feel a certain emotion. But in terms of a 14-year-old boy being there, him being part of it, way more important is like finding out who killed MLK. And when I tweet people, like I don't know if they just think it's a conspiracy, even though I have all my facts and evidence laid out. If y'all seen in the video, I'm not theorizing anything. I'm saying, he said this. Here's this document. Here's this. I'm not theorizing anything. And no one to know it. Like I tweet all the blacks who's angry about the picture, but they're not concerned about MLK. They're not concerned about the MLK assassination. So I think what they really want us to do is play within and this is why they make Kanye and Kyrie. They want their rules. They want to set the agenda for what we talk about, right? You know what I'm saying? I think, and this is what I'm trying to do with this piece, is I want to set the agenda for what they talk about and force them to talk about it. Because there's going to be a new distraction next week. There's gonna be a new NFL. They already talking about homophobia with Lamar Jackson. So that's gonna be the next thing, and people is gonna talk about that, and there's gonna be an argument over that. But I think there needs to be I would like to see a class action lawsuit on behalf of African Americans, on behalf of Jewish people. H.L. Hunt was very anti-Semitic. He funded a lot of Holocaust deniers.
Right,
so all my Jewish people. Let's get down. Let's work together.
Right, exactly.
You know
that's where I'm at with it. When you start,
let's sue them.
When you start,
let's sue the Hunt family.
If we about that work, let's go all the way in. Let's stick it with Kyrie.
I don't know if Clark Hunt is racist, but I know if you inherit someone's money, you inherit their debts, right? So if you inherited H.L. Hunt's money and his team, you also inherit the debt he left to society with his racism, anti-Semitism. Paul, I would love to see the King family sue him for loss of that and have the King family own the Kansas City Chiefs. That would be beautiful. I would really like to see that. If we have any lawyers out there, I'd like to get involved. It's gonna go from me. Benjamin Crump, where you at? I know you got to get your 33%. We got you. Come on, Crump. Let's do it, bro.
Yeah.
Don't bring Reverend Al with you. We don't need the FBI with us, but I don't know about you, Crump, but you seem to be pretty good in them courts, and you deserve them 33%. So let's get a class action suit on the MLK family, victims of racism, and let's own the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not even from Kansas City, so if you from there, let's get out of there, bro. Let's put some action behind the rhetoric.
Yeah, no doubt. West Cliff E, what y'all got to say to the brother?
Nah, I watched it twice.
Yeah.
I had to show my wife, because it was just crazy because we just started watching The Godfather of Harlem and Malcolm X, just seeing the video and then putting that together right off the bat. I was like, this makes all types of sense. It was just real clear for me, and I said, I think it was great work that you did because it wasn't plagiarism. It was you were using documents and voices and videos of the people itself, which was which was you can't even debate this stuff. Like people were actually saying what they said, period. And I loved it. I thought it was great.
Whenever it's narrative based on facts, you know it's solid. It was good.
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed it a whole lot, and I was looking forward to you coming on here. And anytime you talk about the racist NFL, I'm all for it.
Well, thanks for having me on, man. Big bro to me. So
so now before you leave, I don't know if there's any other conspiracy theories, quote unquote, in the realm of sports though that you might want to drop on us.
Yo, the mob and Meyer Lansky heavy into like the San Francisco 49ers, and this is Hold up. Yeah, 49ers was mobbed up. And they was connection to Al Malnick, who's Meyer Lansky's right-hand man, who also would own Michael Jackson towards the end of his life. So it's a whole crazy Michael Jackson, San Francisco 49ers mafia conspiracy going on too. So that's what we reality.
Did I not say that in our text exchange?
Yeah, you did.
We're not racist. We mobbed up.
Right.
Yeah, we mobbed up.
But see, my thing is, in The Godfather, to me, is like the greatest movies ever. Godfather 1, Godfather
2. Yeah.
Greatest movies ever. Like, in order to watch Godfather 2, you need to watch Godfather 1. Even though
you have to watch Godfather 1.
Those movies are just like, oh my God, excellent. But the reconciliation, when they brought Michael, the meeting that brought Michael back after Sonny got murdered.
Yeah.
And they said about
that was crazy.
They said about how they gonna divvy up the coke money.
Yeah,
right. They racist, bro.
Let them. They're animals anyway. Let them lose their souls.
It's Jerry Jones,
Carbon policy.
Carbon policy. Yeah, exactly.
I got the Irish in Boston and they racist, but ain't no one racist like the Anglo-Saxon Texas slave owner racism. You can't beat them. They started it. Like Italians and the Irish came over here. They inherited the Anglo-Saxon racism, but the people who own the Cowboys, no one touching that. Bob Kraft is a Zionist. I know that. Other than that, he's cool. He mess with rappers, but he's definitely a Zionist. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nothing worth it. Nothing. And it's not. Clint Murchison, the Cowboys owner, was down with H.L. Hunt. I didn't have enough time to do a whole piece on him, but the Cowboys owner, Clint Murchison, was also involved in the conspiracy to kill Kennedy. He wasn't as out there as H.L. Hunt was, but yeah, Cowboys owner. And this is why. So.
Why
Jerry Jones is connected.
Why did they kill Kennedy?
Why did they kill Kennedy? Well, there's a whole bunch of reasons.
Right.
Cuba was a big reason. A lot of the CIA people in the Bay of Pigs and
what's the nail? What was the nail in the coffin?
There was so many reasons, bro. It was like let's say like if Tekashi 6ix9ine come up here and you're from the West Coast gang, I'm from him in the South, and we're all together and we see Tekashi 6ix9ine, we're gonna be like, yo, we all hate him, right? Let's get him. Let's set him up. And that was it. Kennedy had mad ops. All his ops came together. You know what I mean? The CIA hated him. E. Howard Hunt hated him. Lyndon B. Johnson hated him. You know what I'm saying? So it was a whole bunch of reasons. Like I wish I could know. Like I can't get in their heads, but I do know the Bay of Pigs was a big reason. The Vietnam War was a big reason. Him pushing for civil rights and black rights and associating with Martin Luther King was a big reason. So there was a few. The Fed people say is a big reason. One of the reasons H.L. Hunt and the oil people was going at him. He was trying to tax the oil people and give it to the poor people, but the rich people wasn't trying to share. So, there's a few reasons.
Damn. Crazy.
Follow the money.
Casey Game.
Thank y'all for having me, man. Yo, share my video, spread it out. I'm trying to get some.
Yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Let people know.
Because this is my second joint and getting feedback from because I respect Hakeem Green a lot. So having you view it off my second video, invite me on the show is just that battery in my back. So I really appreciate it.
Nice. We looking for more, bro.
All right, So next time I have something sports related, I'm gonna pull up.
All right, there it is, my man. Casey Game, y'all.
All right.
Peace.
Yeah. A little something different.
Yeah.
Interesting conversation, especially with the Jerry Jones flick that's been floating around.
Yep.
I definitely don't want to hold the actions of a 14-year-old against them.
Yeah. The reason I say that because too many of our young black boys at 14 years old are killed
Right. No, well, I wanted to follow that up by saying, I do hold the actions of an 80-something-year-old man against him. Well, how old was he when the Colin Kaepernick thing went down and he sided with Trump?
70. It's 75.
75. So when I see that and then I juxtapose it against the 14-year-old Jerry
Especially
Jones,
when he gives his response about that's just when I see that picture, it shows me how I had to do better. Well, you didn't do better, Jerry. Because at 75, you didn't do better at all.
you didn't do better. No, not at all. Yeah. So, that's that. That said,
won't be fans come Sunday.
I mean, I got a sports show. I mean, I got to talk about sports. I can't.
I didn't say that. I said still be fans.
Fans of who? Cowboys?
The players.
I mean,
you got to root for the players. They didn't do nothing.
It's not so much. It's not so much.
Wow, Wes. Wow.
Can't vanquish the star.
Wow.
No, listen, man. It's hard. It's real hard to watch football. It's real hard because you know everything that's going on, and you get it, and you know that the power of the TV or the power of just views can take away a lot of their power. But we don't. A lot of people just ain't gonna let it go at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's a great deal of rectifying and redemption that needs to go on in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We call it the plantation, and it's I got a lot of pushback. Writer journalist Torre pushes back on that, the idea that the NFL is a plantation, comparing it to modern day slavery. He's like, these people are getting paid millions of dollars. I'm like, yeah, but they give up their bodies and their lives to generate billions and trillions of dollars. Billions of dollars.
It's all is a money play, particularly now with the gambling that's all associated with
and
it.
they control that too.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
That's what all this instant replay is, and all this.
They control all of that. Anything they put in play, they control.
Figure out the right. That's all about where the money is.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Right. So, but I love the game of football. The game itself.
And that's what we can't, take away from it. We're still looking for the amazing athleticism that you're watching. The art of these guys playing the sports that and the plays that they make are incredible.
I watch college football.
Huh?
I watch college football.
And the 49ers.
I don't watch the 49ers. I literally don't watch football. I watch sports shows, but I do not watch a game.
Got you. Yeah,
I'm still a 49ers fan because, like I said, it's the mafia. It's my Goombas. What you want me to do?
Forget about it, Coach. Forget about it. Forget about it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So okay.
I got a sports topic to ask you. It's a fictional sports topic. How about Sylvester Stallone saying he won't support Creed 3?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, because Michael B. Jordan him and the director. They went another direction, which is really focused on focused on Creed and his life growing up, and is no focus on Rocky. So this Rocky just sour grapes because they move. I mean, it's called Creed now. So
I understand he's in the movie.
No, he's not.
He's not in it at all.
No, he refused to. Once he saw the script, he didn't. He said they're going in a different direction. I'm not going to be. He said they're not going to just be a token in a movie. That's what he said.
He's not going to be a token.
Yeah,
in a movie.
Like make a cameo. That's it. Like the movie has nothing to do with Rocky. I was like, no, it doesn't.
It's called Creed.
It's called Creed.
You know what though? I respect him bowing out. You know, and hey.
JT, actually, it's not his story. It's actually a combination of what Chuck Wepner.
Yeah.
Yep. And even the Creed, the first one. I know some screenwriters that had some early renditions of that before it became Creed. The first one. So let's just say Hollywood is a dirty game.
Yeah. And he was mad successful. He got 7 off or 6 of them off.
Right.
Hey.
And he has a new show on Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yellowstone, right?
Yeah.
Tulsa.
Tulsa.
Yeah.
Tulsa.
Oh, Tulsa.
Yeah.
Yeah. He should have.
He's doing all right. You know,
He should lock down. He should have locked down that story, Creed, to the point where you can't do it without me.
He didn't do that.
That's what they tell us.
Yeah.
So salute to Michael B. Jordan
for doing what they've been doing to us for years.
That's where it's really at. Salute.
That's all it is.
Yeah, no doubt.
He just played it. He played their game and got away with it.
I haven't got a chance to see it yet, but it looks phenomenal.
Well, it's coming out, I think, Christmas.
Oh, is that not out yet? Yeah, it looks really, really good. I've been catching the previews. Went to go see Wakanda and Woman King, and I made my black movie run.
Either one of those.
Till, go see Till. Go see Till.
I saw Wakanda.
Yeah.
I call Wakanda. Wakanda reminded me of an NBA basketball game when they take out the superstar and they put in the second string.
Oh, wow. Oh, come on, stop it.
I'm just saying. I think it was a good. I think they did, like, the actors were trying to get to that point. I just don't think that they were up to the task of carrying that movie the way they had to. I think you got to have a start, right? So this is the beginning of something, but they struggled without having someone that had depth, like enough experience to carry that movie. And I mean, I went to see it, and I mean, I thought the storyline was good. I thought the villain was awful as an actor. He was just, they could have got
Namor.
Yeah, I mean, give me something. You gotta look at that movie again. Like,
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best Marvel flick, but I definitely enjoyed it.
I did not say I didn't enjoy it.
Right.
But Angela Bassett, Michael B. Jordan, and Chadwick Boseman carried that movie the first time around. Right?
Okay,
you had three high-level actresses on
Angela Bassett did her thing this time around.
She did her thing, but she was by herself technically.
I understand what you mean. Homegirl, what's that? Letitia? What's the play? Yuri.
Yeah. And you had
what's her name? Shuri. Yuri.
What's her name?
Shuri.
Sorry, yeah.
Shuri. So, from what I understand, Lupita was tucked away. She didn't come until like really the end.
Because of the vaccine thing, she couldn't be in it. They had to write that part down.
Yeah. Wow. See, that's a whole wow. Okay. And then Shuri, she was going through all types of trials and tribulation all through production.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't gonna do the movie because she became, she was born again Christian.
Yeah.
So it was like there's so many parts, it just goes against her religion.
But Yuri was still kind of what you say, the second string in terms of, like, she was carried by those people. Like, they made her stronger. It's like having a star player on the team, making the role players better. They just weren't good by themselves like that. The story was, I like the story. The story was dope. How they try to pull it together. But I just felt like it struggled in that area. If they're gonna do another one, they're gonna have to try to get some more star power, some black star power in there.
Well, I like the way they set up. Spoiler alert. Mute your screen. So I like the way they set up the sun.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
That allows
that was good.
to be able to flip the page.
I'm just being honest. I'm not like I supported it. I didn't feel like I got burned.
At the end of the day, it's a Marvel movie, and the Marvel movies are like that. Like, every Marvel movie's not Endgame. Every Marvel's not Black Panther. They go up and down. You got Ant-Man.
Yeah. It's hard to have a sequel.
Yeah,
but I think Marvel has been more down than up as of late. I think they've been missing the mark a lot.
I think that in telling these, because the stories are from the comics, the basis of each story is from the comics, so you're trying to keep this universe going, so if you're following along like you're reading a book, and I think that's what they're looking to achieve.
Yeah,
like you really do go from the first one all the way to the last one.
Yep,
where there's ups and downs. But that said, gentlemen, I'm not really feeling well.
Okay. It's all good.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take it down.
Feel better, yo.
Yeah, let me feel better, brother. I've been down with it for a week, so I know.
Yeah, I think I got a little bug. You see what it is. But I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next week. IZM Sports.
Peace.
Peace.